Excellencies and colleague leaders, honorable ministers, Secretary General Puna, representatives of the Organization of ACP States, representatives of the Council of Regional Organizations of the Pacific, ladies and gentlemen, Bula Vinaka to you all from Suva. It is always a wonderful opportunity when we convene as leaders to consider and discuss issues of mutual concern and priority to us. 7 weeks ago, Your Excellencies, we met as forum leaders and started the 51st Pacific Islands Forum and related meetings under the theme Security and Prosperity in Unity, 50 years of the Pacific Islands. Indeed, in this, our 50th anniversary year, we have seen a range of regional discussions and events that has triggered a very necessary opportunity for a collective self-reflection on the value, benefits and areas for strength and improvement of our Pacific Islands Forum. I continue to be encouraged by the range of political discussions that have been progressed in the region, and I remain hopeful that the Forum family will emerge stronger through these current challenges. Similarly so, Excellencies and Ministers, as Pacific ACP states, we are now at a juncture where we are considering how best to organize as Pacific ACP states, taking into account the new OACPS EU Partnership Agreement, which we look forward to signing in Samoa in 2022. There is no doubt that the Pacific ACP states is an important grouping, not just for our engagement with the European Union and with fellow African and Caribbean states, but more broadly also. This platform can be an opportunity for Pacific developing states to work together to discuss and develop solutions to overcome common development challenges towards a sustainable future for our people. And indeed, there is room for this comprehensive discussion within the ambit of the eminent work on the review of the regional architecture. Excellencies, our region is faced with a set of extraordinary circumstances which are now amplifying our existing vulnerabilities and challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic and its related economic challenges, and intensifying climate crisis, and the ongoing geopolitical tussle on the rim of the Pacific region. To combat such challenges, we must work together and forge our own development future. We must ensure that our engagement with all our international partners responds to our collective vision and priorities for our Blue Pacific. Excellencies, we last met as Pacific ACP leaders in Tuvalu in August 2019 amid the post-Cotonou negotiations. Today, we will consider the outcome of those negotiations and discuss its implications on our engagement with the European Union over the next 20 years. I acknowledge our ministers, senior officials, and our ambassadors in Brussels who have worked tirelessly to finalize a new agreement that is reflective of our Pacific priorities, in particular, climate change and resilience, and oceans, seas, and fisheries. Just as crucial, Excellencies and Ministers, is how we move forward collectively to implement this new agreement. We must ensure that the implementing modalities that we confirm are complementary of our existing national and regional mechanisms. By the same token, there must always be an opportunity for our voice to be heard in these discussions and decisions, because it is our future and that of our people who will be impacted the most. Which brings me to the issue of climate change. Excellencies and Ministers, as Pacific ACP states, We are now on the front lines of the climate crisis, and only a 1.5-degree world will safeguard our region's sustainable future. We must reaffirm this and indeed demand this at COP26 in Glasgow next month. It is our collective responsibility. Today, we have the opportunity to deliberate on this, and I look forward to our discussions. Excellencies and Ministers, it is a challenging road ahead, but I remain hopeful and confident that we can overcome our challenges with unity and ambitious collective action. Thank you, and Vinakabakalebo. Excellencies, I now invite the Secretary General to deliver his introductory remarks.
The Honourable Josiah Bainimarama, Prime Minister of Fiji and PACP Chair, Excellencies and leaders of PACP member countries, distinguished representatives and senior officials of PACP member countries, representatives of our crop agencies, ladies and gentlemen, Kia ora, bula vinaka, and warm good morning. It is indeed an honor to address you all today. May I join the PACP Chair in welcoming you all to this Pacific ACP Leaders Meeting as part of our 51st Pacific Islands Forum. Let me extend my deepest thanks to Prime Minister Natano and the people of Tuvalu for the service and leadership to our region over the past 2 years. The discussions and agreements reached in Samoa in February 2019 and reaffirmed in Tuvalu in August 2019 paved the way for critical regional progress, including the development of the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent and political momentum for the post-Cotonou negotiations. This continues to affirm the mandate of meaningful regional work that delivers, and so I congratulate and thank you. Let me also extend a warm welcome to Fiji's Prime Minister, the Honourable Josiah Bainimarama, as the incoming PACP Chair and of the 51st Pacific Islands Forum. At such challenging times for our region and our world, we know that we are in good hands. I also wish to convey the greetings and well wishes of the Secretary General of the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States, His Excellency Mr. Georges Rebelo Pinto Chikoti, to you all. His senior officials, Assistant Secretary General for Political Affairs and Human Development, Dr. Nobed Richard Ibrahim, and the Assistant Secretary General for the Environment and Climate Change, Ms. Christelle Pratt, our very own, are with us during this opening session. Warm Pacific greetings to you too. Honorable leaders, as you already know, these are indeed turbulent times for our Blue Pacific. Our long-term security and well-being will be determined by how we respond to the short and medium-term impacts of COVID-19, the climate change crisis, and geopolitical competition. Regional unity and leadership will be critical to chart the course of our Blue Pacific continent, supported by international cooperation that is steered by our regional development aspirations and our regional mechanisms. Honorable leaders, your PACP officials met on 21st September, refining the issues and proposals for today's deliberations as we consider the new partnership agreement to guide our EU engagement over the next 20 years, and as we decide how best to work together as the PACP to drive our region's future. In this regard, our meeting is an opportunity for open and frank discussions on how we collectively respond to the sustainable development challenges facing our region. With just 1 month to go until COP26, our meeting is also a critical opportunity to discuss and amplify Pacific priorities for an ambitious COP26 to ensure a 1.5 degrees Celsius world. We know that time is running out. We know we need ambitious climate change action now. We also know that the meeting in Glasgow is critical for our Blue Pacific future. We will keep reminding the world that climate change is our common existential threat. We are duty-bound to keep ringing the alarm bells for all to take heed. I thank you, honourable leaders, and look forward to your deliberations on the agenda ahead of you.